As the court pleases, my lord, may I proceed?
Yeah, you may proceed.
Thank you, my lord. Morning, Brigadier.
Morning, Mr. Ramsey.
Now, Brigadier, as I said on Friday, that I have reserved my cross-examination on HH1, which is the annexure to HH, a statement obtained by Colonel Rapadu, and JJ1, a statement obtained by Ms. Grenier, the magistrate at the Boksburg Magistrates Court. And I want to interrogate both statements for what I term markers of reliability and or markers of unreliability, right? Now, let's start by examining Exhibit HH1, which will be the annexure to the statement by...
Just reminded me that
Okay.
he was not reminded about the oath. Sorry.
Oh, so sorry, it's fine.
Just reminded me that
Yeah, and thanks for that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Noted, my lord. Yes.
Okay. So we're starting with Exhibit HH1, the annexure to the pro forma of Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu,
Yes.
obtained on the 19th of June 2020 at Moroka Police Station.
Yes, my lord. I have it in front of me.
Okay. And it starts by saying, during mid-October 2014, I received a call from a friend, Mtokozi Seni, and who was with Mapisa. You see that? Because I want us to take line by line.
Yes, but mine starts on top, where
No, so the one that says
identifies
Bongale.
yourself. Yes, that's where it starts.
Yes, it starts there, but I've just gone back to the content.
Or you want us to go straight to the content?
Yes.
All right. Yes, I do see the second paragraph. So
Now it says,
ngiyabona ke la ishoyo khona ukuthi ke maphakathi no-October 2014 ngathola ucingo ke kumngane Mthokoziseni.
so it says during mid-October 2014, and the point that I want to raise with you is this. In your testimony, you stated that when you spoke to accused number 2 at Carltonville, without any prompting, he knew the date of the 26th of October 2014. Do you recall that evidence?
I do recall that evidence, my lord.
Yebo ngiyakhumbula ubufakazi la ngishilo khona ukuthi inkathi ngikhuluma naye kumsolo wesibili eCarltonville ngingambuzanga noma ngashongo lutho nje yena ke wakhumbula ke ilanga la nge-26 October 2014 ngiyakhumbula ngikusho lokho.
And even Sergeant Mohani testified the same way to say, I was surprised that accused number 2 knew of the date of the 26th of October without any prompting. But now the point that I'm raising is that in this statement it says during mid-October 2014, and that's on the 19th, the first statement, you can see there that he's not unsure about the date, because if he knew the date, he was going to say on or about the 26th of October. I received a call from a friend, Mthokoziseni, who was with Mapisa. You see that?
Yes, I see that, my lord. But the context of how we got to the date of the 26th of October 2014, that's surprising, my lord, came after I've put to him, and that's what I said the last time, that I place it to him that I have a reason to believe, information that gives me reason to believe that he was involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. So there were specifics that were put to him. The name of Senzo Meyiwa was mentioned to him, my lord, but I didn't give him a date. And his response that surprised me is that he then gave me the date. He said, no, I was not involved because on this day, this is the date now where the 26th comes in, I was at work. So, but there was a context that was put in terms of the name of the deceased.
Uyabona ke lana ngoba wena ke ubufakazi bakho ngoba ke naye ke uSergeant Mohane washo ukuthi ke engabuzwanga noma engatshelwanga nge-26 umsolo wesibili wavele yena ke walusho washo ke kodwa lana kubhaliwe ukuthi maphakathi ke nendawo ke na ke October ka2014 okusho ukuthi ke nalana ke isiqiniseko wayengenaso kodwa ke uma enikeza ngaleyo date leyo yange-26 ka-October kunemininingwane ke noma ke kunalokho engakusho kuyena ngathi nginesizathu ke sokholelwa noma ke ngine information enginayo yokuthi ke wena ke wawunengxenye ke ekulaweni kwakho Senzo Meyiwa yila khona ke azothi yena cha nge-26 ka-October 2014 mina cha ngangisendaweni ethize noma ngangisemsebenzini.
Sorry, just from my understanding,
Yes.
this imputation about the date, it comes from whom?
That was my next
No,
question.
because I thought you were first dealing with HH.
It is HH, my lord.
And who's is for in respect of accused number?
Accused number 2.
Number 2. Okay,
Yes.
fine. All right.
And Brigadier, talking about context, my instructions and accused number 2 will tell the court that the context of him talking about the specific date of the 26th of October 2014 is that when you approached him, you asked him where he was on the 26th of October 2014. Hence, this date of the 26th came about. He was replying in the context of you mentioning the date specifically.
No, that's not correct, my lord. Look, if the question was put like that, my lord, I have no reason to change it, because the essence of what became of that discussion is that he said he was at work, and I followed that alibi. So I didn't put a date to him. I only put the allegation that I have a reason to believe that he was involved in this matter. He responded with a date. Had I given him a date, my lord, I'll indicate that I gave him the date, and would have followed this alibi if the answer would have been the alibi that he gave us, which was not correct, my lord.
Uma kuwukuthi mina-ke kulokhu kwekushiwo-ke manje ukuthi-ke ukuthi umsolo wesibili aphendule ngaleyo ndlela-ke ukuthi yena-ke ngeyi-26 za-October 2014 wayesemsebenzini kungoba ngambuza-ke mina ukuthi wayekuphi-ke ngeyi-26 cha umbuzo-ke angizange ngikubeke ngaleyo ndlela-ke ukuthi nje ngasho kuyena-ke ukuthi nesizathu sokuthi ngikholelweke ukuthi wayeyingxenye-ke ekulawini kwakhe-ke usenzo yena-ke osezonikeza ngedate, hhayi ukuthi mina-ke nganikeza ngayo idate. Uma kuwukuthi ngangisho kanjalo bengizokusho-ke lokho.
Sorry. For the context, Mr. Ramsipil,
Yes.
are you traversing the statement or the confession of accused number 2?
Yes.
When he says, the first sentence, he says what? During May.
During mid-October.
During October.
Mid-October. He
Mid-October.
said during mid-October 2014.
But then you see why I don't understand the context as you're putting it.
Yes.
Who was the magistrate or the colonel who wrote that statement?
It's Lieutenant
It was
Colonel
Colonel
Rapapa.
Rapapa.
Right.
Yes.
It's different if it is written by the brigadier himself.
Correct.
Are you with me?
I am, my lord.
Yeah, how will that's the context.
Right. Now, accused number 2 will deny as well that he had a friend that is called Mthokoziseni. And we now know, even from these proceedings, that the person that is known as Mthokoziseni, it's Mapisa, but in the statement it says, I was with I was called by Mthokoziseni, who was with Mapisa.
Yes. My lord, the statement was taken by Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu, and that was the interaction. So this is what is contained in the discussion between him and Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu.
Umsolo wesibili-ke uzophika-ke ukuthi yena-ke unomnganeko ogama lakhe liwumthokoziseni, futhi-ke nanjengoba icala leli liqhubeka-ke sesiyazi-ke manje ukuthi-ke umthokoziseni-ke umthokoziseni Maphisa, kodwa la kubhalwe ukuthi-ke ngathola ucingo olubuya kumngane owumthokoziseni owaye kanye naye uMaphisa. Uthi mayiphendula-ke ukuthi lana umsola wayekhuluma naye uKenel Rapadu ikona-ke okwenzeka-ke lokhu bekhuluma kubhalwe ngale ndlela.
And I do not have evidence, my lord, to say this person, this Mthokoziseni, does not exist, because no ID number or phone number were given, my lord.
Anginabo-ke nobufakazi ukuthi lo muntu obhalwe la owumthokoziseni akekho noma-ke akaphili, ngoba-ke akukho-ke inamba yakhe noma-ke i-ID number ekhona ebhaliwe la.
And that was going to be my next question. That's why I've always said to you, do not anticipate the next question. Just finish your answer and wait for the question to be asked. Because if you answer in that manner, my intention is to finish my course today, but you won't finish.
Noted, Mr. Ramsey.
So my question, as a lead IO, based on this statement and the mentioning of the name, Mthokoziseni and Mapisa, did you then follow up on that evidence for investigative purposes to find out who these persons were that were mentioned there?
Yes, I did, my lord. I did not find, as I said, there's no ID number or phone number that can bring closer. There's not even a surname. So I did follow up, and Mapisa is accused for, as I indicated, that is a name that is associated with the person being mentioned. Mthokoziseni is the one that I could not associate with anyone, my lord, as being a friend.
Umthokoziseni lona ke obhaliwe lana njengomngane ke yebo ke ngilandeleleke kodwa ke nanje bangishilo ukuthi akuna ID number akuna number lana umuntu angaxhumana naye ke kuyona noma isibongo ke kodwa uMaphisa ngishilo ukuthi ke igama ke lelo elihlanganiswa naye ke umsolwa wesine kodwa ke umthokoziseni lena angimtholanga.
And you have also testified, Brigadier, that the name Mapisa had already come up during the investigation by other officers before you came as an investigator in this matter, correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Ubusushilo ke ukuthi igama leli kaMaphisa ke igama ebeselivelileke nangaphambilini kwelinye ithimba ke leli elaliphambi kwenu ke elaliphenya yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
And would you have a statement in the docket relating to this aspect of the name of Mapisa coming up, having been followed, and what happened after that?
Yes, there is a statement by the previous IO, Lieutenant Colonel Mteto. It's in the docket to that effect. I approach it because, as I said, when I saw the name, it was just on the investigation diary, but it was clear what is contained. Then I approached the previous investigating officer, the initial one, and she disposed an affidavit to that effect. It is available, my lord.
Ngaba sikhona yini ke istatement ke esikhuluma ngalo lo daba lolo ke mayelana ke negama leli uMaphisa yebo sikhona ke ngaya kuyena ke owayephenya ke icala uLieutenant Colonel Mthethwa futhi ke wasenza istatement mayelana nalokho siyingxenye yedokodo.
No, sorry, but was it, this statement, was it discovered
That's what I was thinking.
Yes,
to the defense?
Indeed, my lord, it was discovered in the docket because it was collected by me before I even came to testify. I'll even find the index number and give it to them. It was discovered, my lord.
Siyingxenye ke sikhona abameli basinikwa ke leso statement leso sakhe uLieutenant Colonel Mthethwa.
I'll find it and be specific in terms of the index number, my lord. It is 217, the index number 8217. That is Angel Kululeko Mthethwa. 8217.
8217 lawo kubhalwe ke Angel Nkululeko Mthethwa.
No, it's not. Yes, that's the one, my lord. Indeed, 8217. That's her. And it was discovered, my lord.
Okay.
Abameli basinikezwa leso statement leso.
Okay. Now,
Just to put the right context, my lord, it was commissioned on November the 2nd, 2020. The 2nd of November, year 2020, my lord.
Masibekwa ke istampu noma si-commissioner kwako nge-2 zikaNovember 2020.
okay. Now, accused number 2 had already testified in the trial within the trial, and he has stated the following: that he does not know Mapisa before the 27th of October 2020. He only met him at the Boksburg Magistrates Court when they appeared together, the 5 accused before court, for the first time in the Boksburg Magistrates Court.
No, but that's not correct, my lord. If you look at, for example, the statement, and I don't want to venture out of what Mr. Ramsikule led me on, the statement of Sifiso Zungu, it is clear that happened before the appearances of the 27th of October 2020. If you read Zungu's statement, Sifiso Zungu, they knew each other. If you read the statement of Makosonke, I'm just sticking to what we've discussed, me and Mr. Ramsikule, the name Mapisa appears. If you read the statement of Ndwandwe, my lord, which is also disclosed to the defense, there was interaction between Mr. Ndwandwe, Mr. Mapisa, and communication that were directed to accused 2. So that is correct. If you look at the evidence that is in the docket, the statement that I'm referring to, they do indicate that accused 2 knew Mr. Mapisa. In fact, he knew all the accused, my lord.
Fine, but for this purpose of this court, were those statements discovered?
Yes,
all of them.
They were discovered, my lord,
Okay.
and this one of Sifiso Zungu is the one that I said Mr. Ramsikile led me to it. Mr. Sifiso Zungu, who is Swabeni, it was discovered. The one that I'm referring to, it was discovered. It was also amongst the statements of Jack Buchelezi, who came to testify in this court, and together with what is this other name? The other Zungu guy that I referred to, but they were discovered, my lord.
Akusilona ke iqiniso lelo uma ngabe ke umsolo wesibili ethi-ke uMaphisa-ke akamazi uma eqala-ke ukuhlangana naye noma uqaleke ukumazi ngeyi-27 zika-October 2020 ngathi-ke bebingelela imantshi bonke enkantolo yase-Boksburg. Lelo-ke akusilona iqiniso ngoba-ke uma ngabe ufunda-ke istatimende sakhe uSifiso Zungu, ufunda istatimende sakhe uMakhosonke uNdwandwe, kwakhona-ke uxhumano kwakukhona-ke phakathi kwaNdwandwe kanye futhi naye-ke uMaphisa, naye-ke futhi umsolo wesibili-ke ukhulumile nangaye-ke uJack Buthelezi. Kusho ukuthi-ke la ekushoyo khona-ke ukuthi-ke ebemazi umsolo wesine kanye futhi-ke nabo bonke nje abanye abasolwa ubewazana nabo.
May I approach your testimony?
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you, Madam Indebted. Now, Brigadier Belinda, in response to a question that accused number 2 says he does not know Maphisa before the 27th of October, you mentioned statements and names of people. Have those people, for example, testified in this court about that?
I do know Jack Buthelezi testified, my lord. Sifiso Zungu, as I said, you asked me about it, my lord, to be specific. That's why I said I don't want to venture out of what I was asking this court. That's why I confined myself to Sifiso Zungu, Makosonke, because we dealt with those in terms of the statements in this court from you. Yes,
Kumbuzo-ke ngikubuze wona-ke ukhuluma-ke ngey'tatimende washo-ke amagama abantu. Ngabo labo bantu labo bashoyo-ke bethulile ubufakazi yini kule nkantolo? Yebo, uSifiso Zungu, uJack Buthelezi ngiyazi-ke, ingakho-ke ngishilo-ke ukuthi angifuni ukuthi ngiphumeke kumbuzo-ke lo ongibuza uwona-ke, ngakho-ke bengikhuluma-ke ngalamagama-ke aboMakhosonke, kodwa ngiyazi uSifiso Zungu kanye naye uJack Buthelezi babuthulile ubufakazi.
No, only Jack Buthelezi. Sifiso Zungu didn't testify.
Oh, sorry, is Sifiso not constable?
No. Sifiso is another one.
Okay, sorry. I'm just confused. Sorry, I'm just. Oh, uSifiso Zungu ke akabuthulanga ubufakazi ngiyaqolisa ngicabanga uSifiso Zungu uConstable Zungu akusiyena-ke umuntu oyedwa uJack Buthelezi kuphela umuntu othule ngobufakazi.
And Jack Buthelezi, when he testified in this court, he specifically testified about a narrow aspect whereby he met accused number 2 after accused number 2 had appeared in court in the Tlhabane Magistrates Court, and he gave accused number 2 money to buy toiletries because at the time accused number 2 had not received family visits so that they can bring him toiletries and things to bath with. He did not testify about accused number 2 knowing accused number 4, Mr. Maphisa.
I don't think that is entirely correct.
We'll remember that he made a volte-face after testifying. It's a matter that should rather be left for argument.
Yeah.
Now, further on this point regarding accused number 2's prior knowledge, interaction, communication, or otherwise with accused number 3, 4, and 5 specifically. Accused number 2 says, I only met accused number 3, accused number 4, accused number 5 for the first time on the 27th of October 2020 when we appeared together for the first time in this matter in the Boksburg Magistrates Court.
But that's not correct, my lord. That is why I said the statement of Kwabeni, Sifiso Zungu, places all the accused in the same company where they were talking, in the hostel. It's in that statement of Sifiso Zungu. It is further corroborated by Constable Zungu, who also says the same thing. Makosonke, in particular with accused number 2, also places him around that period. In fact, Makosonke, my lord, in that statement, accused to confess to him privately for being involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Or it is alleged by that statement, to put the right context, that he confessed to him, my lord.
Sorry, Mr. Nomalo is standing up.
Thank you, my lord, for the recognition. I'm having a problem, my lord, where the witness is referring to affidavits of witnesses whose evidence has not been tested before this court.
Is that the criteria?
For instance, just now, he just gave evidence
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking.
of what is contained in that statement.
Is that the criteria that if a witness has made a statement and he hasn't testified in this court, the brigadier, in terms of the law, IUMLEV is not allowed by law to mention that exigency, despite the fact that that statement has been discovered. If it has not been discovered, it's clear. You can't refer to it. Because the assumption in terms of the law is that that information you would not know because it's not discovered. But if the docket is discovered, it is assumed that you will read the docket. The fact that you don't call Ratamukhachen to come and testify having made a statement, it's neither here or there, unless I'm wrong.
I'm having a problem, my lord, where the witness mentioned what is contained in an affidavit before this court under
No,
cross-examination.
you can test it under your cross-examination.
For instance, my lord, we have been told by the state that this is the last witness. Now he mentions other people.
So what should I do?
Seeking
You want the
what is
ruling, sir?
contained.
You want the ruling on that aspect?
No,
No, the law allows it. Like Kelly, for instance, it's been mentioned here, he did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I don't know, because you don't discover anything to me. But Mr. Brigadier Gininda says she said this and this and this in the statement. I don't know. But you are at liberty to contradict that by bringing evidence to show that Kelly was somewhere in Hollywood when they say she made a statement. Yes.
Another point of contention here is that this witness is allowed to bring through the back door hearsay evidence. And we all know what are the basis of hearsay evidence is. The state must stand up and make an application that, my lord, I am aware that this is hearsay evidence, but I'm requesting that it be provisionally accepted pending the calling of the witness whose credibility that information rests.
You are right.
But the state does not do that.
You are right.
Yes.
But this evidence is being elicited under cross-examination. That's the difference.
But
Wait,
nonetheless, yes.
He is being cross-examined.
Yes, my lord.
And then he answers.
Yes, my lord. But my lord, nonetheless, hearsay evidence is
You can
inadmissible in terms of the
argue
legislation.
thereafter that what he was saying is hearsay evidence, fine. But you can't accuse a witness of answering and then you say you're not supposed to answer the way you're answering because it's hearsay evidence.
But again, my lord, the rules are very clear. Hearsay evidence is not admissible unless the state, as I'm saying, stands up and say, I'm making application that be provisionally accepted pending the calling of the witness whose veracity statement relies.
Okay, fine. No, but I differ with you. There's a case of State versus Lepoko.
Yes.
It's a judgment by Underhalter. Just read that judgment. It was delivered in 2019.
Yes.
SCA.
And another thing that I've noted, my lord, is that hearsay evidence is actually not elicited under cross-examination, but it is because of this unwarranted elucidation by this witness. It's just allowed to
You
do
can't
whatever they
get
want
away from the
without
fact that
any control. Man.
you can't get away from the fact that this witness is under cross-examination.
He's under cross-examination, but it keeps on explaining things that have not been asked. Man. If
You are
I
right.
were me,
You can argue that. No problem.
thank you, man.
You can argue that. Fine.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr.
Can we also say our piece in regarding this matter. With the greatest of respect, Advocate Mnisi is wrong as far as the law is concerned. If and these are the rules of cross-examination. If in cross-examination you elicit hearsay evidence, that is the only exception. It's one of the exceptions under which hearsay evidence is it can be accepted. Now, Mr. Ramusipile asks the witness accused says, or pushes to the witness accused who says he only met accused 3 and 5 for the first time on the 27th of October 2020 at Boksburg Magistrate Court. Now, the witness simply answers that and says, no, that is not correct. And he mentions all the relevant places where their names are mentioned. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what they elicited in cross-examination.
Okay, yes, Mr. Ramsey, let's go.
My Lord, I don't understand which hearsay have I elicited when I say I put a proposition that my client will come and tell the court that I met accused 3, 4, and 5 for the first time on the 27th of October 2020 at the Boksburg Magistrate Court for the first appearance of this man. How can that be hearsay elicited by me?
You know what? I don't want to get into the merits of this case.
Yes.
But bear in mind the defense which was placed in this court
Yes.
about the cell phone evidence. That I was at such and such a place and number so and so gave me a lift. He was driving a Kumbi, was driving this. I don't want to get into that. Okay, you've heard me.
Yes, my Lord. And my Lord, as well as I've been very cordial to the witness to say, as they ask it, I think now I'll...
No,
also-
fine. Look,
Yes.
you have a right to cross-examine.
Yes.
And then your client is going to get into the box and dispute that evidence. And you can argue which version the court should take or accept, whatever. But this witness, unless he's telling fables or he's lying when he says the statement was discovered. That's why this court is asking, was that statement discovered? And then he says it was discovered. And you, the defense, you don't say no, it's wrong. You keep quiet. Because you're entitled to say he is not telling the truth, Brigadier Gabi Gininda, when he says this statement was discovered. Let him show us the copy. You don't say that. You just pass. What must I do?
My Lord, in fact, regarding that, let me clarify that. We were given a list of about 12 witness statements. And in those statements, they said these are the secret witnesses. Their personal particulars, names, addresses, cell numbers were redacted. So when you read that statement, you don't know if this is Fiso, if this is Kwabeni, if this is so and so. That's the context of the 12 statements that we received. The ones that I personally received, I can't talk for my learned colleagues now. So I don't know Fiso's statement, Kwabeni's statement from those statements that statements that we were.
But the man, when he writes a statement, he says, I, Ratamo Khateng, swear under oath that I am a chef. I'm employed at cafe so and so. I was born on such and such a date. I, Ratamo Khateng, was present when Miss Mshololo cooked an Epicurean meal of potatoes and this and that and that. This is how the statement goes. The guy identifies himself and describes himself as so and so. Are you with me?
Ask for a 5 minutes adjournment just for the defense to...
Yeah, maybe. Because
Thank you, ma'am. Just 5 minutes. Ma'am.
what's your time then? Although that gentleman says we mustn't adjourn. So what time should I come? Okay. Where? What time?
It's 10 to 11 now. We can resume at 11.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, madam.
Right.